Alright, how's it going, guys? So, I thought I'd make a little update video on sort of everything that's going on in my life because a lot has been happening recently, and obviously, the entire point of this YouTube channel is for me to be able to document it, provide value, and all these different things. And I haven't been posting that much on YouTube recently because of many reasons, but behind the scenes, there has been many things that have gone on that I'm sort of going to share on here. And with everything that's going on, I've sort of understood that my life is about to change drastically. Like, from this point on, my life is going to change on a whole nother level. And there are many things for me to expect from that. There are many things that I obviously can't expect as of yet, but I'm ready for it all, and I'm ready to document it all, right? So, it's the 19th of May today. Well, it's midnight, so technically the 18th, but let's say it's the 19th of May today. And apart from this last year, I have around 1 year left of school, which means I have around 1 year to make this work, right? 1 year to be able to make enough to take care of myself, to be able to build a sustainable business that's going to provide me with everything. And honestly, with that timeline, everything is only getting more pressuring, and it's only getting scarier, right? Which is, obviously, it just intensifies everything, right? And at the same time, I feel like it is also probably the perfect moment for me to feel this way because of the fact that I'm very young. I'm 16, I'm working towards these dreams that I have, even though I may not have that much as of now, or even though I've accomplished some kind of things within my life, I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, and I have a lot more to achieve, right? And yet, with all these goals in mind and with this pressure on me, I feel like it's the most necessary thing for me at this moment. And so alongside that, I actually also made the biggest investment of my life. So I invested $5,000 into a mentor, essentially to help me out with some things in my business. And from that point on, I had unlocked a whole nother level of, I guess you could call it, abundance within my mind, because it was so easy for me to pay that mentor. Like, essentially, when it comes to investing, I had always been I've always had this scarcity mindset of being, like, trying to hold on to my money and being scared that, oh, like, my numbers are gonna go down. But the second that you start seeing money as just numbers, that's when your life is gonna change, right? Because I learned this when I was trading back then. I was losing like thousands of dollars a day, or I was making thousands of dollars a day, even at like the age of 14, 15. Like, even at that time, obviously trading is crazy, right? You have crazy leverage, so you can make a lot of money. But yeah, essentially back then when I was making like even like $1,500, $2,000 overnight, it was just numbers to me, right? Obviously, like, at some point I realized, I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy. I'm losing and making like this kind of money at such a young age. This doesn't mean anything, right? That's sort of the kind of mindset that I had developed. But it was also because of the fact that it was so easy to make that money. It was so incredibly easy. Obviously, apart from like all the analysis in terms of the trading itself, the money came so quick, right? And that's why it didn't mean anything. And so ever since that moment, I had always developed this sort of perception and this viewpoint towards money. And as I quit my trading career, and realized that it wasn't a sustainable career, because some days I lose 1,500, some days I make 1,500. It's just not a predictable business model, right? So obviously I had moved on to other things where my earnings were a lot less, right? And because of that, I had to work 2 times more. Back then it's because I didn't have any leverage, and now obviously I understand this kind of concept that obviously you're not supposed to work that hard if you don't have any leverage. But back then I was working so hard to scrum up some money. I was literally working. I was making like 20 videos for like $10. Like, that's just insane, right? Editing 20 videos for $10 or even less. I think it was like $8. So I was just trying to earn food stamps, right? That's why after that insane sort of view of money after my trading career, I had started to develop this sort of mindset with money again, right? Which is that, you know, it's hard to earn money. I'm trying so hard to find clients. I'm trying to outreach. I'm trying to cold call. It's just so hard to find clients. It's so hard to sign some deals and make some money. And yet, at some point, obviously, I had racked up some money. I had racked up enough, but in terms of investing into support or programs, before this mentor I actually invested in, it was so hard for me to do so. I was contemplating everything. You know, I'd be that person that hops on sales calls and just has so many objections, which, like, I understand, right? Obviously, like, I sell things online. I understand what that is. And at some point, I don't know, I literally just woke up and I told myself, I'm done with this mindset. It was so random. Like, it was a day I woke up and I told myself, I'm done with this mindset. I want to move on to a next chapter in my life. And in this journey, I want to move on to the next chapter in this journey where I have absolutely nothing blocking me. Absolutely nothing. So when I hopped on that call with this mentor, he had explained everything to me. He had obviously given me all the value that I needed, made me feel really secure, dropped the price $5,000. I was like, okay, so where's the link? And then I am telling you guys, when I sent over that money, I felt nothing. Which is like $5,000 is what my mom makes in like 3 months, right? And I dropped that overnight. And so, you know, being able to overcome that one barrier was honestly very powerful for me. And it's one of the biggest steps that, not just because of the fact that I invested into the mentorship itself, but it's because of the mindset that I had behind it, or my thinking patterns was just okay, right? And being able to have this mindset at 16 years old is really powerful long term, right? Especially if you're trying to grow as an entrepreneur, being able to have this mindset where you just see things as just things, that's when you're able to think abundantly, right? Abundantly or whatever. And so that was one of the big shifts that is really going to change a lot in my life. Right. Another thing is my sister is also getting into business, which isn't much, but obviously, you know, it's kind of cool. I'm very, very happy to help her out. Obviously, you know, I'm still in school. I'm going through final exams and all these different things. But at this point, I'm really just focused on trying to create content. I've been learning a lot more about content, and I'm really, really trying to get back into YouTube a lot more frequently. Okay. Like throughout these days, I've been posting like once every week or once every 2 weeks, which is just like insane to me because of the fact that I like to have my videos really authentic, just me talking my thoughts, right? Because this is, it's all about documenting this journey so authentically. I don't even care to like have shiny edits, at least not as of now, but it really just takes like 10 minutes of recording a video, even though this one might be longer. But yeah, like I'm really trying to get back and am in the process of getting back into YouTube. You're gonna be seeing a lot more videos like this where I'm sharing my mind, sharing a lot more of the things that I had learned throughout these 2 years, right? Which is kind of crazy because I'm 16 right now, and when I'm 18, I'll have like 4 years of experience with business, which is just pretty cool, right? For an 18-year-old, that's somewhat cool. And it gives a really, really good head start because most people, they start at 18 years old and they delay everything. But being able to start early and being able to start when you know you can, it takes absolutely nothing to start, right? It takes absolutely nothing. It just takes your dedication and that's it. And so once you're able to put yourself out there, once you're able to take a step forward, you are setting yourself up in the best position ever. The reason why I'm able to get here, that I'm able to grow my following on Instagram, on social media, and start these different businesses, to learn from these different businesses, to fail, to get experience, is because I put myself in a position where I just started, right? And obviously because I'm young, because I realize all these things at such a young age, it's an advantage, you know? It's an advantage, and it puts me ahead of people who wait. And that's another thing, right? You need to be able to put yourself ahead of people who are not willing to do what you are willing to do. And I told myself, I am willing to sacrifice these like teenage years of like partying or whatever it is that people do so that I can put myself ahead and build this future for myself. Because, you know, this feeling, it doesn't just come randomly. This is a vision that has stuck to me for years. And I just can't ignore it. And that's what, maybe it's just like you're born with it or whatever. Maybe it's just like God gives it to you. But at the end of the day, if you have that vision, if you have that dream, you need to go out of your way to pursue it. You have literally no excuse. Right? Which also brings me back to the fact that I have 9 hours of school a day, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, 9 hours, that's absolute torture. I have 9 hours of school a day, and yet I find my way to vlog everything throughout my school days. If you go on my channel, you'll see some vlogs of me just filming in school, like working on my business through breaks, going back home, going to the gym, and which is kind of funny because it's a Sunday night and it's like midnight 30, and I'm filming this YouTube video because I'm willing to do whatever it takes, right? And it's like, I don't want any more great decisions in my life. Obviously, behind the scenes, I've been working on all these different things, but I've really been trying to process a lot of things in my mind as well. Because when it comes to changing things outside, you also need to be able to look internally and see what is stopping you internally from getting those external results. It all starts with yourself. It all starts with your mind. And I've come to realize recently that, like, I'm done. Like, whatever sort of mind-blocking, whatever sort of great decision, maybe like a movie here and there. There's a little bug over here. Maybe a little movie here and there. You can't do any of that, right? You cannot have any great decisions when it comes to entrepreneurship. You either want it or you don't. Right, and that's something that I've had to come to realize with myself recently, and yeah, it's funny because I just woke up and I told myself I'm done. I don't want to do anything but pursue my future. Right, and even in school, like, I'm telling you guys, like, I sit in school in the back of my class, I am not listening to a single thing that the teacher is saying. I honestly don't know why as well. Like, I had a final exam literally on Friday. It's Sunday. I had it on Friday. It's a 4-hour long exam, right? And I was the first to finish. I have no idea how I pulled that off. I'm telling you, I have no idea how I pulled that off. But I finished a 4-hour exam in like 2 hours and a half, which sounds like horrible, or like 3 hours. And I was the first to be done. And then I went straight home and started working again. You know, and obviously I'm not perfect. I have all these different moments where I'll procrastinate, where I'll feel very lost, even like literally 10 minutes ago. Not 10 minutes ago, I've been filming this for 15 minutes, but about an hour ago, like, I was really lost with everything. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, right? Obviously I have an idea of what I'm doing and I understand what it is that I'm doing, but as an entrepreneur, it's very, very normal for you to have these moments where you are just lost, right? But you're just trying to pursue what makes sense. But yet internally, it's just very overwhelming is the best word I can use. It's very overwhelming. Having all this wisdom and knowing too much at a young age has got to be one of the biggest curses ever, right? Because you will go insane. And that's why you need to be able to think in logic over emotion. I had made a video about this recently, actually, but yeah, it's just been coming back to my mind and leading me to this conclusion and leading me to that one moment, like today or like a few days ago, where I just told myself I'm done. I don't want any great decisions in my life. I don't want any mind-blocking barriers in my life that's going to stop me from reaching my potential. And I'm going to do everything it takes to get this future that I dream about every single day. Guys, I sit in the back of my class and I write, look, I will literally show you right here. Let's get this book out. I write about 3 to 10 pages every single day in this journal. This is actually a new journal. I have like 5 more that I've like written out completely, full of my thoughts. And I write 3 to 10 pages a day in the back of my class, just brainstorming my thoughts, brainstorming my dreams, brainstorming this vision that I have and my plan to execute it every single day, right? My to-do list, what I'm gonna do today. And obviously sometimes you get overwhelmed in that because I can't bear to sit and listen when I have all these visions in my head, you know? And obviously this is not something that I can clearly explain at the moment, but hopefully by filming this video it explains enough when I'll be able to look back at it. But what I do understand in this very moment is that I'm a lot closer to this than I could ever think. And that's because I have faith, right? And even if it takes longer, even if I have to go through more trial and error, I'm ready for it all because I know it's meant for me. Like, you know, when something is really, really meant for you, nothing can ever stop you. And I've been doing this for 2 years with, you know, nothing can ever stop you. And the best way to go on about it is to document it. Right? The best way to go on about it is to continue to have faith and to have these different moments where you just break the barrier and you reach the next level. Because obviously through entrepreneurship there's all these different levels, but as long as you can keep breaking through them all, you will unlock a new path. You will unlock a new chapter, which could be the one that absolutely changes everything. And I'm ready for this one, right? I have internally broken this barrier to get to this next level, and yet externally I have invested what it takes to get to the next level. And in terms of my time and in terms of my frameworks, it's the same thing, you know? So I'm very excited for where this is gonna go. I'm gonna be filming a lot more on YouTube, but I have school tomorrow, so, and I have a little bit more work to do, so yeah, I'm gonna be filming a lot more on YouTube, but I'm very excited to see where this is gonna go. And it doesn't matter how many more times I have to fail, I have so much faith in this, you know. So yeah, we're gonna get back to work. This is, you know, a little bit of a view of the office, as you could say. School's almost over, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna have summer, so I'm really gonna be focused at that. I might like travel a little bit and vlog it out, but I'm very excited to see where this is gonna go, right? Because this is gonna be a very crazy summer, and potentially in the next summer, that's when I'm gonna leave, right? That's when I'm gonna really get out of this comfort zone of me being in this country, you know, a beautiful, beautiful country, but you gotta leave at some point. So I'm very excited to document it all. But this is where it all starts, you know, this is where it all starts. This is where the work is being put in, and that's what it takes. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one, and God bless you. Good night, guys.